so that I can share it. Me, 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 me. Okay, cool. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Good? Doing good. So I'm going to spend most of my time. You're going to have a quiz on both lesson 10-1 and 10.2. And most of what we covered earlier this week is going to help you, but there's a couple things I didn't talk about yet that I want to spend time out today. So in your work, you probably saw a chart that looks something like this. And it said, this is X, and these are some values of X. I'm going to give it a 1, I'm going to give it a 3, and I'm going to give it, I don't know, I'm going to even go -2, sure, because it doesn't matter. And let's say it's 3 times 1 minus X. 3 times 1 minus X. That's going to be our expression. Now, this is a table, and it's giving me 3 different values for X. And I'm going to I'm going to evaluate the expression 3 different times for these 3 different values of X. I'm not going to worry about anything else except for this first value. This is not a problem you can just stare at and just plug all 3 in 5 seconds. Some of us have to break down 1 and then write our math down, and that's how I'm going to do it. Some of you might be able to do the math in your head a little bit faster. That's okay. But I do need you to pay close attention that there's 3 different values of X, and so I'm going to have different numbers here. If you ever get the same number, you did it wrong. The only time that could happen later on is if we have an absolute value, which I don't have any of those. So these evaluated expressions should not be the same because my value of X is going to be different each time. So let's do the first one. X is 1. When X is 1, and here's my expression, 3 times the quantity 1 minus X. All right, and I'm going to erase X because I just said it's 1 right now. 1 minus 1. Well, 1 minus 1 is 0. And 3 times 0 is 0. Awesome. Guess where that goes? I am going to go, bam, it's going to go right there in that box. So anytime that X is 1 for this expression to be evaluated, it's going to be 0. There we go. Now I'm going to do the next one. So we have 3 times the quantity, 1 minus X. And in this situation, X is going to be 3. So I'm going to erase X. I'm going to write 3. 3 times the quantity. I can't do that yet. So 1 minus 3 is -2. And I'm going to bring down my 3. 3 times -2 is -6. That's what's going to go right here in my box, -6. And then let's do the last one. I'm going to just do a little line. 3 times the quantity, 1 minus a -2. I'm going to put that in double parentheses. So 1 minus a -2. When I take away a negative, I remember I'm going to add those. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times the quantity, 3 times 3 is 9. So when X is -2, this expression is going to be 9. Now, in our quiz, you have, I think, 3 of these. You have 3 problems like this, where you have to plug in the different values of the variable, and you're gonna have 3 different answers. This is how, in the multiple choice thing, because you can't like write on the box, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be 0, and there's gonna be a line, -6, line, and then 9. So that, if that was one of my options, I would click that one on Google Classroom. So it does, this line here doesn't look like a number. It just looks like a line, like a straight line, like it's separating them. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and ask if you have any questions. Nice job, Pickle Boy. You're a rock star. You did it.
I have a question.
Yes, Leah, go for it.
Well, I mean, it's not like about math, but I have a thing that I have to do with my family, and I have to go like right now.
Okay,
So like,
bye.
will these notes be posted on Google Classroom?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
so great question. Yep, I'm gonna take this video, I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and then I'm gonna put the link, I'll put the link underneath our quiz.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, no problem, anytime. Have fun with your family.
Thank you.
Ta-ta. Okay, so let's do this. Do you, let's raise of hands, or send me a chat. Do you want me to do one more of these? Do you want to watch me do another one? I got some no's, I'm getting some yeses. How are the word problems going? I know some of you love word problems, like you just want me to give you word problems. Sorry, your comments are really funny. Okay. Okay, so we are going to, we are going to do one more of these box problems, and then we'll do a couple word problems. Because I don't want, you know, you can hate something that you can do. Like I can walk upstairs. I don't like walking up the stairs, but I can. So let's treat it like doing the stairs. That was really funny. I think I'm hilarious. Okay, so I need some help. I need you guys to help me make my little chart. What should my variable letter be? Someone just shout it out.
13.
That's cute. My letter. The variable H. Okay, H. Now, H is going to be H times the quantity. Let's do 2 plus H. Oh, look at that. Look at that fanciness there. Okay, that's my variable. That's my unknown. Here's my expression, right? That's my expression. And now let's give me some values for H. Someone said 13. Does anyone have another variable for H? I need one positive and one negative. Just shout it out.
-3.
-3. Thank you. One more.
Positive or negative?
I don't care at this point. I just needed at least one negative.
400.
I'm not doing 400.
5.
5. There we go. I like that better. That's gonna take, we could, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's do 13. So we have H times the quantity 2 plus H. So in this first one, it's 13 times 2 plus 13. 2 plus 13 is 15 times 13. And 13 times 15 is 115, right?
195.
95, there we go. I was like, that didn't look right. All right, so that was my first evaluated expression. I just plugged in my values for H into my expression. Let's do the next one. So we have H plus 2. H times the quantity 2 plus H. And then we have -3. So H is -3 times the quantity 2 plus a -3. And if it ever looks like that, I just kind of change my brackets because you put parentheses inside brackets. 2 plus a -3. So if I'm 2 feet above the water and I jump down 3 feet, how deep am I in that water? I'm 1 foot in the water. Now I have -3 times a -1. Well, negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 1 is 3. So my answer is going to be 3. Da, 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 da. I think I see someone in the chat. Okay, good job, Pickle Boy. And screen share. Could you guys see my screen? Were you seeing my screen this whole time or no?
Yeah, we were.
Sweet, okay.
Yeah.
All right, our last value is 5. So h times the quantity 2 plus 5. 2 plus h. Sorry, I was jumping ahead of myself. So 5 times 2 plus 5. We have 2 plus 5 is 7. PEMDAS tells me I have to do that first. And then 5 times 7 is 35. So my chart is going to look like that. And on your Google form, it's going to be 195, a separator, 3, a separator, and then the last value of 35. So if you've seen my test, I'm not trying to trick you. Like, some of my answers are so stupid and far off. Like, if you just did the math and were remotely close, like, you'll get it right. Yeah. The quizzes that I've been giving you, I'm not trying to trick you. Well, maybe I should try though. All right, cool. Now, let's look at this. Oh, that's your actual quiz. Don't look at that one. Yes, Kellen, what's up? Okay, I can't help you for 40 minutes. So why don't you go run a couple miles? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing real fast. And then I wanted to open it up to questions. Any questions on the classwork? So as of today, Gavin, Chloe, Caitlin, Bryce, Charlie, Natalie, Callie, Lizzie, Eli, Grace, Sasha, Dominic, Naomi, Holly, Ginger, and William all have done their math homework. So if I didn't say your name, it's because I haven't seen that you submitted it yet. It still says pending. I know Lily and a few other students were having trouble with like turning it in or the buttons not showing up. So just email me and let me know, okay? Because then I can't give you points if I don't know, but I can give you points if you're like, I did it and it's not there, because I've seen the error messages. Like, I know that they're there. So, okay, let's do a word problem. Yay, word problems, Mrs. Kirby, it's my favorite. Glenda bought some apps. Okay. She bought some apps. Yeah, she did. Okay, so I want you to think about this. And in her tablet, she's got games, right? And each app costs $5. Well, she's overpaying, that's for sure. $5 for an app, that's insane. N is going to represent the number of apps that she's bought. Now you're going to write an expression to show the total amount she has spent. So what's my unknown in that scenario? What's my unknown? What do I not know? You can either shout it out or write it in the chat. I'm doing this one right now. What do I not know? I don't know the number of apps that she made, right? So I know how much they cost, but I don't know how many she has. So to write an expression, I know that I'm going to have 5 and I know I'm going to have n, but what operation? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? What happens every single time she gets another app?
She like adds it on to the total amount.
Right. So should I just do n plus n plus n plus n plus n? Or is there another operation that could do that easier?
Multiplication.
Yeah, you're a rock star. So it's going to be 5n. That's going to tell me, because if she got 2 apps, that still can solve it for me. Or if she got 22 apps, I can still use that same expression to solve all of them. Awesome. Okay, so there's one. Not too scary. Not too scary. All right, let's look at this one. Lorinda ordered some boxes of greeting cards. The cost of the cards is $6.50 times n plus $3. Okay, I'm thinking, I'm a little confused, but I'm gonna keep reading, I'm not gonna quit. Where n is the number of boxes ordered, okay, and 3 is the shipping, okay, and the handling charge, okay, so $3, okay. How much will she pay? Okay, so this unknown, or this variable, is the number of boxes, number O boxes. Okay, and this must be the cost. Okay, so each box of greeting cards is $6.50. And I have a one-time flat rate of $3. It doesn't matter if I buy 1 box or 20 boxes. I only pay $3 for shipping. That's pretty common for most businesses. So I'm going to take this expression and I'm going to plug 8 in there. That doesn't seem too hard, right? Right. So I'm going to go 6.5 times 8 plus 3. PEMDAS tells me I have to do this multiplication first. So 6.5 times 8. I know that I don't line up my decimals when I'm multiplying multiplying decimals. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 4 is 52. I have 1 decimal place, so I have $52 plus my $3 shipping. So I'm gonna spend $55 to buy 8 boxes of cards. Awesome sauce. Feeling pretty good. Feeling like a rock star. I'm gonna leave that there. Let your beautiful, juicy brains simmer over that one for a second. I'm in such a good mood. I'm so glad it's Friday. I'm excited to spend time with my family this weekend. Super jazzed. Okay, new fresh piece of paper. New fresh piece of paper. Let's do one more. Where's my paper? Mrs. Kirby, you lost your paper. Found it. Okay. Okay. I'm just peeking in the book. Whoa. I'm gonna look at number 14. I like number 14 because it's like a real life example of science. Now, joules is how we measure energy output. Did you know that? Okay, I know you could probably see that answer and that's okay. So the kinetic energy in joules of a moving object can be calculated from the expression 1/2 mv squared, where m is the mass of the object in kilograms and v is the speed in meters per second. Find the kinetic energy of a 0.145 kilogram baseball. Now, Gavin, it's for you. It's a baseball problem that is thrown at a speed of 40 meters. Did you guys have this one in your, yay, it's Friday. I know, I'm super excited about it being Friday. Why did I put 8 in parentheses? Ooh, good question. Can I answer that real fast? Because I was multiplying. The reason I put 8 in parentheses here is because that's one way to illustrate multiplication. I could have put a dot. I also could have put the little X, but we kind of are getting away from putting the X now that we have letters involved. So putting something in parentheses indicates multiplication, or the dot, or the X, but again, we're phasing that out. The X is not wrong yet. It's not wrong, but I will definitely let you know a hard, like, do not use the X to show multiplication. So that's
Miss Kirby.
Yeah.
Then why don't they just teach us to use the dot or the parentheses from like kindergarten or like whenever we learn multiplication?
That's a really great question. I don't know. Because it's still an appropriate symbol for multiplication at that level. And I don't have another great answer for that. You're also not gonna, this is probably the last year you're ever gonna see this symbol. the division symbol, this one. This is the last year you'll see that. So multiplication and division are pretty big concepts that you guys need to understand at a young age, you know, like second grade. That's when you start to learn all this stuff. Some of you even first grade. But now we're phasing these out as you get into more advanced mathematics. So these are just no longer appropriate for the level of math you're doing. They're not wrong or bad. You just won't see them anywhere. But Dylan, that's a great question. Why don't they just throw the parentheses in there? I don't think most first graders can say parentheses, or if they did, it would be adorable, like saying caterpillar. Caterpillar. Cool. Okay, great question. I love your beautiful questions. So let's talk about energy. So let's look at the expression. The expression is 1/2 mv squared. Mass times velocity squared, right? And the problem told me my mass. The mass of my baseball is, okay.
0.145.
There we go, thank you, kilograms. I was looking for that. So I have the speed. My speed is 40 meters and my mass is 0.145. So I have 1/2 times 0.145 kilograms times 40 squared. Whoa, just realized you can't see that. Mrs. Kirby, can I use a calculator on my test? Yeah, you can. Go for it. According to PEMDAS, what do I have to do first?
40 squared?
Yes, yeah, because PEMDAS says parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, or subtraction. So these parentheses, I would do those first if there was something to do inside of them. Like 40, like, you know, 145th thousandths plus 2, you know, so if there was an operation inside there, I would have to do that. There isn't, right? We are just kind of isolating those because of multiplication. Why are they there then? Why are they inside the parentheses? Because I know I have to multiply them. My fear, and this is a mathematically appropriate way to rewrite this, if you were just to write 4, 5, K, G, and then 40 squared, like I don't even know where to go from here. Like what do I do if I just write all those numbers down? So I would put the operation there. So I know there's multiplication. I know there's multiplication, but I can't do multiplication until I do my exponents. Good question. Making sure you have very clear operations. And if you have any variables glued together, so this is my coefficient. So if there's a number or an integer of some kind in front of a variable, I know that there's multiplication here. That's the secret invisible glue that glues all of these together, is multiplication. Sorry, I see more chats and I wanted to get those, but my chat function is like taking up my whole box and I don't know why. Why is it doing this? Sorry. You guys are great. Okay, wait, we aren't done with the problem. No, we're not done with the problem. We still have to do all that math, child. So 40 squared. Mrs. Kirby is getting her calculator out because that's fun. 40 times 40 is 1,600 times 145 kilograms, and I'm taking 1/2 of that. Okay, so we have 1,600 times 0.145, and we're going to get 232. 1/2 of that, and 1/2 of that is going to be 116. And let's see if we're right. Let's see if my math is right, or our math. Oh, look at that, 116 joules. So that's the amount of kinetic energy that that baseball is giving off when it's chucked at 40 meters per second. So I'm going to just leave this here for a second. If you wanted to copy it down, just for your own notes and benefits. Again, it's called linear algebra for a reason. I took my time. I wrote down each step. Even though I knew I wasn't going to use this 1/2 yet, I didn't lose it. I kept it coming along. It tagged along until it was ready for his turn or her turn.
Oh. I divided them instead of multiplied them.
Good catch. Good catch. Okay, can I move on? Sweetness. All right, I'm gonna do a little geometry example. So I'm gonna do 4. Write an expression for the perimeter of the triangle. Okay, well, here's my triangle. I have to remember, okay, the perimeter is the area, the distance around it. Sorry, not the area. The perimeter is the distance around it. So I need this side and this side and this side. When you hear me say the word and, am I gonna add, subtract, multiply, or divide?
Multiply?
Good guess. I'm gonna go with no. I can multiply this one because I know they're all the same because this is a square. But this triangle, these guys don't look the same.
Oh, okay, then add.
Yeah, you're right, good. I'm gonna add them. And so because it's an expression, I don't need an equal sign. So I'm gonna start with the hypotenuse just because I'm feeling wild. Woohoo, hypotenuse first. So good job, Charlie. So I'm gonna start with 5C plus 4B plus 3A. Bam, and I'm done. That's my expression. I'm adding them together. Now a square, I know a square has 4 equal sides. I could write n plus n plus n plus n, but I don't want to do that. The most efficient way is going to use multiplication. And how many n's do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4n. That's how many I'm going to have, 4n. All right, now this one's tricky. Write an expression for the area, which is the height times the width. And if you forget what the area is, just look that up. If you forgot what the area of a triangle is, which is 1/2 the base times the height, just look it up, no worries. So the area of this one would be n times n, but I'm too fancy to write n times n. What's the best way to write that? What's the fancy way with our fancy exponents?
2n.
Close. N squared.
Oh.
That's okay. There's a difference between n squared and the one up here, because the perimeter here would be n plus n plus n plus n, because I'm adding that perimeter. N plus n plus n plus n is 4n, because I have 4 of them, right? Multiplication is repeated addition. Multiplication is repeated addition, right? Now 6, this is repeated multiplication. So powers are repeated multiplication. See the difference? Repeated multiplication compared to repeated addition. Hopefully that cleared it up a smidgen. I know I'm dropping a lot of new stuff on you right now. And Charlie, n times n's not wrong. This isn't wrong. But I probably didn't put that in your answer key. I probably showed you this. So as long as you know that this is n times n, you'll be fine. Cool. Okay, well, I am done. I can leave this here and you can ask me questions. I can post our quiz so that you can have a few extra minutes to work on that.
Miss Curry, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
It's about the one with the baseball, that one.
Yeah.
Could you go to that one? Okay, so where it says the 40 squared,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't it become 80 because it's just 40 times, oh, never mind, 40 times 40. Gotcha.
You are brilliant. You got it. See? As soon as you explained it, you're like, ah, because 40 squared is 40 times 40. Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
You're a rock star. Do you have to do the quiz right now? Well, the quiz is due by Monday, so it's up to you. Good question. The powers, they're tricky. They sneak up on you. And so I believe in you. I believe that taking your time each step is going to help you be successful. I believe writing it out to really wrap your mind around it. Dominic, the reason I didn't post it earlier is because I wanted to go over this before. And I know that a few of you would just do this instead of listening to me jibber jabber. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording.